Welcome to the Cardinals Squad Show. My name is Benjamin Garcia, host of Locked On Suns, host of the Ben Garcia Show, and a credentialed Arizona sports media member. Early reports are Jonathan Gannon will be back in 2026, but is it the right move? Let's talk about it.
I'm Jamil Douglas, former NFL offensive lineman. The Cardinals look to get back on track versus the Jaguars this week.
Alex Clancy, Locked On Cardinals. If Kyler Murray's healthy, off IR, who starts? Him or Jacoby? Let's get it.
Rise up, Red Sea. It's the Cardinals Squad. Everything Arizona Cardinals every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the Valley of the Sun. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Gear up and squad up. The Cardinals Squad Show starts now.
What is up? However you may be listening, wherever you may be listening to the Cardinals Squad Show, appreciate you guys making this show a part of your day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow us all on all social media platforms, as well as, reminder, Locked On Cardinals Squad Show is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. So keep that in mind when you are tuning in to the Locked On Cardinals Squad Show and channel. Reminder, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Gentlemen, there are a lot of things to talk about today. That is not just, well, the Cardinals stink. There's actually some now reflecting to do on the Cardinals season, quarterbacking, head coach. So let's start there. Numerous different platforms, whether it's Benjamin Albright. I mean, yesterday you heard Jonathan Gannon say he's got 1,000% backing from Michael Bidwell, that he's, for all intents and purposes, going to be back in 2026. What partially, sparked this idea to talk about this again was Clancy kind of talking about it yesterday. So I'll let him kind of take it at first. But is it the right move, Clancy, to stick with Jonathan Gannon through 2026 and just continue to give him this vote of approval from not just ownership, but seems like everyone else in the Cardinals front office as well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you do that, though, I think it's going to be without Drew Petzing. I think at this point, and it's not like if Drew Petzing's 50-50, I would lean towards letting him go. He's got one. Drew Petzing has 0 years left on his deal. Jonathan Gannon has one. I have no problem with a sitting duck head coach. Coach your job. Coach your job. I don't think that's a bad thing. You need to bring in somebody from the prehistoric era, like a 60-year-old offensive coordinator. You got to bring in a dude who has had so much tread on the tires and success, whether it be somebody who's in college right now, who's coached in the NFL, or, whatever it may be. You need a rock for Jonathan Gannon for next season. I think he gets all of the credit for the injuries. He gets all the credit that it's not on him. Everything else you could say is on the coordinators. He gets a pass for that specifically. So I'd bring him back. You got 1 year left on his deal. Bring him back. Let's see if he can turn it around and the injuries aren't, just piling up next season.
Yeah, I agree with what Clancy's saying. I think given that he has 1 year left on his deal, at this point, you might as well let him see if he can turn it around in his last year. I do think that a change will have to be made from the offensive side of the ball, which is what Clancy said. Bring in a new coordinator, somebody that is established, someone that preaches the philosophy of having an identity on offense. I think that's crucial for this Cardinals team.
That's right.
I was thinking about this the other day when we spoke about whether the Cardinals are ready to make that next jump. And I know I said they weren't ready, and then I started thinking about a team like Atlanta, right? And I was thinking about the weapons that Atlanta has. And similarly, I think that the Cardinals have, outside of Bijan Robinson, I would say the Cardinals have weapons just like them. And so, and what they're missing in Atlanta is the offensive identity. And so that's what you have to bring in with the Cardinals. There has to be someone that's well-seasoned, a Brian Daboll, an Arthur Smith, or something of that nature to get this team on the right track.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, as much as change, like you just want to change for the sake of changing, what does it fix? And it's kind of the conclusion I've came to. Like, I want heads to roll. What is more disheartening is we've changed head coaches, we've changed GMs, we've changed quarterbacks, and nothing seems to be changing outside of getting otherworldly talents at the quarterback position in Carson Palmer and Kurt Warner. So it's hard for me to believe that Jonathan Gannon is just a downright buffoon. I think I just have to chalk it up to they had a lot of injuries this year, and you run it back with them again next year. And like, here's the worst part of it is like, unless Matt LaFleur becomes available, who's the better coaching candidates? Is it Brian Flores? Do you want to bark up that tree again that didn't get along with the GM, didn't get along with the quarterback, and also had a worse defense than Jonathan Gannon did when he was a DC with the Philadelphia Eagles? Like, it just feels like you're changing just for the sake of changing. And I think I'm just out on that unless you get another pool of just really good coaching candidates again.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I have my Nate McMillan effect where a new head coach takes over after one gets fired and you win for, a couple weeks, and then you get a huge contract extension, and then Nate McMillan's a terrible head coach again. It's like, oh, great. Like, that's awesome. It's just, that's how he's made all of his money. He's a great interim head coach in Atlanta, everywhere he goes, Portland, everywhere he goes. And then, the next year, once he goes ink to paper, it's like, oh, that's right. What this is like, it's the Jack Del Rio effect, where Jack Del Rio made a living becoming a DC of an organization that you knew that coach was getting fired soon, and he would take over as interim. Sometimes it would extend. I think in Oakland that happened, and then sometimes it wouldn't. You need a dude who can come in, and if you fire Jonathan Gannon mid-season, can see if this guy can be the next head coach for the team. Like, I know it's a perfect scenario, and it rarely happens that way. Brian Daboll, I'm sure he's looking at East Rutherford, not East Rutherford, Orchard Park, like, is he going to get fired up in Buffalo? Because that's his job. If he wants a reclamation project year and be an OC, I don't think he'd come here. I don't think Michael McDaniel would come here. I don't think any bigger name like that would. So that's going to be the tough part.
Why is that, though? Why don't you think a bigger name would come here?
Well, it depends on the quarterback. Like, do you think Jacoby, so Jacoby's like Calais Campbell around the league. He's respected 100,000% across the league. So you've got a dude who's not a head case. I'm not saying Kyler Murray is. You got a dude who's not a head case. You've got a dude who has a high enough floor and is obviously a competent quarterback. And then you look at the pieces, it's like, is that enough? Obviously, listen, if Buffalo becomes available, Brian Daboll becomes the first man on the list. He goes back with Josh Allen. It's serendipitous like that. But I don't know. Do you think Mike McDaniel's offense works? Was it a flash in the pan? Is it a Tua problem? Is it an everybody gets injured problem?
I think that offense works perfect in terms of what the Cardinals lack, and it's the ability to ground and pound and to just kind of line up and play football. I think that's personally my opinion is I believe they need something like that. I believe they need creativity. I believe they need run play action type of identity that everything is set up off of the play action. So because I don't believe that they are the team that should be dropping back that many times. So, I do think a Mike McDaniel's offense will work. I don't think that, this is the same offense that the Shanahans run and the McVays and the O'Connells run. And if you are at least a game manager, which Jacoby is, I think that you can have success with that offense because it doesn't ask a ton. I mean, we saw Mac Jones, we saw Josh Dobbs, we saw, certain guys have success in that offense that necessarily didn't spend a ton of time in it. So, again, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation.
Well, put it this way. Like, Ben, to answer your question simply, should he be safe? I think so. When it comes to coaching in 2026, what if, and we haven't mentioned this name once, what if Kevin Stefanski becomes available? And you get him back.
Yeah, that'd be
is Kevin Stefanski a better fit for the Cardinals at head coach than Jonathan Gannon? I don't know. I don't know if the answer is yes. Everybody loves JG. I don't know if Kevin Stefanski would want to come in and be an OC after being, the mayor of Cleveland for the better part of a decade.
That'd be great.
Like, there are really smart guys. Like, what if Zach Taylor gets fired? What if there are dudes that, why would any big name coach come here offensively? Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, Paris Johnson Jr. You've got either James Conner or Trey Benson, and you're going to spend the entire offseason building up that offense. And maybe you've got your wide receiver too also with Michael Wilson, which is what we'll see the rest of the year, which you definitely do, which I've said for 2 years now. Kyler Murray just didn't get him the ball.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so so we are all in agreement that Jonathan Gannon should be here, sure. But I want to spend a little bit of time on this because Clancy mentioned this a lot yesterday. I totally get not firing Jonathan Gannon. It doesn't look great to fire head coach in the middle of the seasons. It doesn't look good when you're trying to hire head coaches. It also is just something dysfunctional organizations do. But you haven't fired a coordinator since Mike McCoy back in, I think it was 2018. I don't understand the idea if the Cardinals are already, like, you're keeping the head coach and he can run the show. I don't understand, since we could all agree the Cardinals are, for better or worse, out of the playoff picture, why you don't at least see what you have in Drew Terrell to call offensive play calls for the Cardinals right now. Like, if you're going to move on from Drew, maybe get a head start on it now, see what you have in Drew Terrell, and what's the worst thing can happen? It's worse? Then if that's the case, you move off from him in the offseason too when you build up that offensive core. Like, I totally get keeping JG. The Drew Petzing thing, I just don't get, Clancy. And I know you're sticking to this. Why is that?
Well, I mean, I'll let Jamil. I pretty much plagiarized what Jamil said on the Sunday show, where it's like, well, I mean, I've been saying it also, but it's like, yeah, you just don't. First of all, Drew Terrell ain't calling the plays next year. So if you want what you want to do, this is the beginning, and I think I'm going to take the words right out of Jamil's mouth. Yes, this is the part of the year where you are looking at what you have for next year. So you want to change the least amount possible to see how guys can maximize in a system that they're comfortable in. A lot of it's Michael Wilson. A lot of it's going to be on the defense. But when it comes to Drew Petzing, like, dude, they're moving the ball down the field with Jacoby Brissett. Okay? They can't run the ball. The right side of the offensive line is washed. I mean, I would just say probably Jonah Williams. Kevin Beachum played pretty well last week. This isn't a matter of somebody needs to pay for their sins of this season. It's what do you got moving forward? And the only way to determine that is to keep everything the same for Jacoby Brissett and the offense.
Yeah.
I stole it?
Yeah. I mean, basically, you know, I feel like and I'll just add to it with this. Why they haven't moved off of Drew Petzing is, and why we haven't heard any rumblings out of that building as far as moving off Drew Petzing, is because I don't think that they believe Drew Petzing is the issue. I think that they understand that their offensive line isn't very good. I think that they are very in the mode of, we've got to get the right guy in at quarterback. We've got to get our future in at quarterback. And I think, you know, the injuries play a big role into it as well. I don't think that they've been healthy in terms of the running back position and just battling things here and there. But who knows? I mean, if Drew Terrell was ready to be calling plays, he'd be calling plays
for sure.
It's that simple.
No, 100% for sure. I totally agree with you guys.
Yeah,
if we were in week 6 or week 5, but the season is over. Maybe just figure it out, because, like, at the end of the day, like, if we're evaluating everything offensively, like, guys, Paris Johnson Jr. is going to be back here next year. Come hell or high water. Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, Trey Benson, whenever that, you know, ghost eventually rears its head and comes back in the lineup. Like, you know who's going to be here. Shouldn't you find out if it truly, like, I would want some reassurances. Like, this isn't just me playing devil's advocate.
Not if you don't have anyone on the staff who you view as being a potential.
But isn't that on JG?
No,
it's not on JG. I mean,
for hiring inept coaches.
So he's just supposed to have someone on staff that could be those guys are offensive coordinators or quarterback coaches somewhere else.
This offense.
Okay.
They hired Drew Petzing because of the personnel they had at the time. You've got a really good tight end. They didn't know they were going to get the 4th overall pick and draft Marv. It's like, you're going to run the ball with James Conner. You're going to throw the ball to Trey McBride, and you're going to hopefully win some games. And for a while, they were one of the best running teams in football. When you lose 13 running backs within 6 weeks, things change. And for Jacoby Brissett, fun fact, ladies and gents, Jacoby Brissett had the highest completion percentage of anybody that completed 40 passes in a game in the history of football on Sunday. So just because they're in third and 13s a lot, 10 incompletions, 2 of which were interceptions, 1 of which wasn't his fault. Everybody knows you're throwing the ball, and he's still able to complete 47 passes without Marvin Harrison Jr. Get off it. This offense isn't as bad as it looks through 11 weeks. It's just not.
And I'll have to say this. I think Clayton Adams moving on to Dallas affected this offense as a whole. Like I truly believe that when you have an offensive line coach that is very well respected around the league and could possibly be a guy that could call the offense, you have to keep those guys in the building. You bring in a guy from college. And that's not a knock on him, but I think that there is a learning curve like we've all spoken about. And we've seen the offensive line have different issues. So I think the Clayton Adams thing is a big deal as well.
I guess you guys are right to an extent. I just think if you're going to move on from Drew, like if we all in agreement that Drew Petzing will not be the OC here next year, why not move on from it now? But if the Cardinals really believe that Drew Terrell or whoever it is isn't ready to call plays in an environment where things don't really matter, then I don't know. I see that as bigger issues
all the time.
I mean,
everything.
Drew Terrell ain't gonna have the O-line blocking better.
He had an OC interview with the Chicago Bears, and they didn't give it to him. But
I
still,
interviewed for a Fortune 500 company, and they didn't call me back. It's like I don't care.
Wait a second. It's pretty cool that you got a Fortune 500.
I did actually. It was. God.
Come on.
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, listen. When it comes to this, and it comes to, Drew Petzing, hey everybody, he could 100% be back next year. Like the writing's not on the wall that he's going to get fired. The Cardinals offense is moving. Now the defense just can't stop anybody, which surprise, surprise, something else came up that we didn't expect this year.
Yeah.
So everything's a mess.
All right, fine. New idea that we can all agree with. They should fire Jonathan Gannon and make Drew Petzing the interim head coach.
Cool.
Oh,
and see.
I can't get with you on that one, brother.
Aliens have officially invaded State Farm Stadium. Kyler Murray is now 2 weeks into a 4-week IR stint. When he is back, has the season officially gone so far awry that maybe he should start again? We will discuss next. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA season is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game, want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Hey, listen, as the host of Locked On Phoenix Suns, you're watching that Suns-Hawks game the other night, and if you're a Hawks fan, you're maybe sprinkling a little bit on the Hawks when they were down 22 points in the fourth quarter and ended up beating the Phoenix Suns. Could have made yourself some nice bit of money right there. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. So I haven't seen this yet on Clancy's normal edition of Locked On Cardinals, but he had talked about this, so I'm curious to get his point of it first. Should Kyler Murray start again this season when he comes off of IR? It's an interesting conversation with nothing to lose, but maybe the ability to win everyone's hearts back with a strong end to the season. Clancy, you have the floor here.
Yeah, you should. It was the same reason as before. He wasn't Wally Pipped. He wasn't sat healthy. He is injured. When he comes back, I expect him to start. If he comes back. We don't know the severity of the injury. The foot thing has been weird for Brock Purdy and a bunch of other guys. It's becoming this new epidemic for quarterbacks. Turf toe is a real thing, guys, in any sort of variant. It's like when you get a calf injury and you don't want to turn it to Achilles. They're taking a lot of extra time. I don't know if he will come back. I don't know if he's going to be healthy enough to. But he 100% should start because he's a starter. And I know that it's playing with fire, but the only way, if you're moving on from Kyler Murray, as Jamil decides to join Locked On Ravens instead of Cardinals at this point, it's the only way you're going to get a first-round pick for Kyler Murray at this point, it seems, is if he comes back in week 14 or 15 and plays really well. So with
collateral.
That, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying – so what did I say before he went on IR, before he was hurt? Jacoby Brissett should 100% be starting, and it's the right move to start Kyler Murray when he's healthy. And both can be true, and I think it is still true because he's the starter.
You did say that.
Even if it's ridiculous from what we've seen from what we saw before.
Yeah.
If he's healthy, he should start.
I'm torn on this, right? Because I've said I've said in the past weeks that Jacoby gives this team a competitive advantage given where they're at offensively, not really holding up in protection, not having a run game to lean on. I think that Jacoby offers them something in terms of pushing the ball down the field. And so that's my reasoning behind saying that I feel like Jacoby should be starting given the first, 4-5 games we saw Kyler.
Where's the but?
There is no but.
Oh,
This is what, and I can say this. The Cardinals under Kyler Murray per game, 18.8 points, 170 pass yards, third down conversion percentage, completion rate of 39.7. Under Brissett, 25.5 points, 275 passing yards, third down conversion rate of 57.1%. So the numbers show that the offense has been more productive, been more efficient under Jacoby Brissett.
sure.
The wins haven't been there. That is the one caveat here. And so, like I said, I'm torn, right? Because I get what you're saying in terms of the draft capital and putting Kyler on the field and I guess kind of leveraging that. I guess my question around it is, are we factoring in wins, or are we just saying in terms of the future moving forward?
I mean, you could argue that losing more is better.
Huh?
I was going to say, you could argue that losing is better.
Yeah,
like
but
in the
that's not what you
grand
put it out
scheme
there.
of things.
That's not what you
No one. Well, sure, but no, I don't think the wins thing matters. I think it's just, why are you putting him out there? Like, actually, yeah,
If
that's
he's
a better
starter,
question.
He's healthy. If you believe in Kyler Murray, like they've always said they have, you start him. Like, and I'm not being like combative and like clickbaity because it's not. It's like they haven't won game. They've won less games with him, with Jacoby, than they have with Kyler. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
And I know that it doesn't look the same, and you can't be just tied to numbers with ball and chain like, oh, I can't think for myself. Let's go to the stats. It's like, no, use your eyes. Stats help. Use your eyes. Obviously, it's been better looking with Jacoby. I understand all of that. And Kyler Murray's the starter. And if he's healthy and he's standing on the sideline with a clipboard like Charlie Whitehurst or Chase Daniel, we got a big problem with what you're going to do with him at the end of the season. So to save face, to maybe get lucky and see if he's a guy who you can get a fringe first-round pick for, I'd be shocked if the Jets don't give him a first when they have 39 of them now. Like, I don't understand, but still,
what do you
worst case scenario is him not playing again.
So Clancy, what do you think his value is right now in trade? What would you just guess? And knowing that Geno went for a third, Carson Wentz went for a 1. Like, what do you think?
And fourth. That was a conditional 1 to Indy, and he had to play 75% of the snaps. So that's
true.
Different. Like, yeah, you want to do a conditional 1 or a conditional 2 that turns into a 1 if Kyler starts and plays 75% of the games, do it. But I think that's the fringy area where I don't think Kyler's going to be a career backup in this league. Either he's going to start or he's going to retire.
He's going to be a starter somewhere
100%.
next year. I
Sure.
think, and there's multiple teams that can use a Kyler Murray.
Would you give a first for him, Jamil?
Depending on what team I am, yes.
So Minnesota?
Minnesota, I would. The Raiders, I would.
Wow.
The Jets?
If I'm the Jets, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
If I'm the Raiders, I mean, Geno Smith has been.
Well, the offensive line's terrible. The offensive
100%.
I mean,
100%. But even in the times of the offensive line protecting, he's thrown picks. But I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see Kyler in a Vikings uniform. Just if I'm being honest. But yeah, if I'm the Vikings, I would give up a first for Kyler.
Kyler Murray for Kevin O'Connell, straight up deal. Who says no?
Ain't doing
I'm
that.
just
O'Connell's never leaving the state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, the report. Listen, what I said is hyperbole, a little crazy, but like there are already reports that there's already friction there. There was reports
because they're
last
forcing
year.
JJ McCarthy on him, probably.
Exactly. Well, no, I think it's actually Kevin O'Connell who's forcing the issue with JJ McCarthy. But this is not locked on Vikings. Whatever.
He does a good job out there, man. Like
he's so good. He's so good.
That seat is not even warm yet out there.
No,
like.
but I think it's one of those potential divorces things. Again, it's an off-season thing. I'd be interesting to throw that one out there. But if you feel like you have to, it's a really good point that Clancy makes. But here's the other side of the argument is, and I mentioned this before, but Kyler Murray's contract has an injury clause that triggers a large guarantee of his salary if he's unable to pass a physical in March due to injury. Reminder, I think it's like $21 million. I'd have to look at it as well, that if they just outright cut him, that they have to get rid of him by, that he's guaranteed if he's still on the roster by. So like there is some financial implications to this as well, where like, I don't know, man. I think you just keep him on IR, put him on ice, and just be done with the season, because I don't think you're raising that draft value at all anymore for Kyler, even if he comes out and performs. Like, what happens if he's still Kyler in the first 2 games of the season, where 220 yards, a touchdown, an interception? Like, does that help, or does that make things worse too?
I don't know. I mean, so there's what, like a 1% chance he comes back here, if that. Like, you got to leave the window open just in case. Like, say he comes in and balls out, and say he was injured or whatever, he's playing through injury. Like, I don't know. Crazier things have happened. I don't think he's going to come back. But what if it's a new coordinator and you can run a West Coast offense with him? Like, I don't know.
Do you think it's possible that Kyler Murray, Monty Ossenfort, and Jonathan Gannon will all be back next season?
No, I don't. I don't think Kyler Murray's going to be back.
But not even a 1% chance. You think it's impossible?
No, it doesn't. If he's on IR the rest of the year, that means he's missed over half a season 3 times due to injury.
What is that? 11 games?
Yeah, well, one, and then he tore his ACL in 22, so he missed half that season and half the season after. 22, 23, 25. No.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that the Cardinals and Kyler Murray are going their separate ways.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, this was kind of more of an exercise. Obviously, what I like to do on my show is talk about things 6 months or 5 months before anybody else talks about it. It's just, let's think about this and put a bookmark in it. And it's fun too, because now there's so much speculation around what they're going to do. He's still at least 2 weeks out. We don't know if he's going to have a window open in 2 weeks. We don't know what the hell's going to happen. If they keep losing, it's like, you got to put the best product out there. And if they're not winning with Jacoby Brissett, regardless of how the offense looks, Kyler Murray may be the best product out there. I mean, they aren't winning games.
So would you say the worst thing that the Cardinals can do is he never gets activated again? He never gets activated.
The worst thing that happens is he comes back and he gets hurt, and then he's out.
Of course.
But of course, anybody could get injured at any point, and I don't care at this point. And this is the most dehumanizing is not the right word. But Jamil, maybe you can help me with this. When you sign up to be an NFL player and you make varying degrees of money, I don't talk about other people's money. There is an unspoken kind of thing where it's like, my tool is my body.
Sure.
Right? So it's like, my tool is my body. So it has got me here. My skill set, how to use my frame is why I'm making the money I'm making. Okay. Obviously it varies wildly, but it's also like, you can't make decisions based on what if he gets hurt.
Right.
Even if you're a high wire act without a safety net, you can't make decisions based on that, even if there is that injury clause. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, teams do it all the time, right? They weigh those options, but at the end of the day, they don't say we're not going to play this guy because if he gets hurt, we're on the hook for this. I just, yeah, no. I mean, when you sign up, you sign up. If you can play, you can play. There, I don't think there's really the ability to do that. So yeah, I agree.
Are there soft IRs that happen with people who are maybe not physically unable to perform? Like, have you seen it? I'm not trying to have you tell on anybody. Have you heard of that happening?
Yes and no, because you got to remember you only get so many slots on IR. So, you can have someone on IR and then you really need that spot for someone who's injured and it gets a little muddy. So yes, there is, but I would say it happens more so later in the year than it does earlier in the year.
Yeah, those phantoms when it's down the stretch. All right.
100%.
The Arizona Cardinals have a game this weekend against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We will break it down, and maybe even we'll all get together and talk about how the Arizona Cardinals are going to turn this ship around and win the game this weekend.
Yay.
But at Clancy's words, crazier things have happened. Let's talk about that next.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Keeping the show rolling, the Arizona Cardinals have a game this weekend against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. The Jacksonville Jaguars, it feels like they're like, if you told me before the season began that the Jacksonville Jaguars would be in this position where the Cardinals are at, and the Cardinals would be in the position of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I felt like that would have been much more believable than where we're at now. But Jamil, you're the NFL expert. You've played the game. What are you looking for in this game to potentially get the Cardinals a W?
I don't know about I don't know about the W. Okay. This is what I'll say. I do think, I said this last week, the Cardinals can win this game, right? Jacksonville is just coming off of a hell of a win versus the Chargers, and I don't want to get ahead of myself because I don't know how good the Chargers actually are. They've been very up and down this year, but Jacksonville played a complete game in getting after the quarterback as well as just offensively scoring points and things like that. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think that Jacksonville is just this juggernaut of a team that, can't lose a game. Their record is what their record is. They played in some tough games. They won some good games. But again, this is a game in which if the Cardinals don't get off to a slow start for once, like they'll be in this thing and they can win. Just like, I look for this game to be something like when they played the Colts. I'm not comparing Jacksonville to the Colts, but they were in that game the whole game. As long as they don't give up a 98-yard return in the beginning or they're down 14-0 in the beginning, like they have a chance to win the game. So I'm just hoping that we see a faster start out the Cardinals, and I think they'll have a chance.
Yeah. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been a disappointment I think you could say. He did go from Urban Meyer to Doug Peterson, which isn't fantastic. I think he found his coach. Liam Cohen looks like he knows what he's doing. They got guys playing with teeth. Travis Etienne is one of the more underrated running backs in the league. Bashal Tutin is going to be a great backup for years to come. They found something with Parker Washington. They just traded for Jacoby Myers. Josh Hines Allen is the all-time leader now in sacks for the organization. They've got pieces, and now they've got a coach who looks competent, and it's an offensive coach. It kind of makes me sad that the Cardinals haven't had an offensive-minded coach who actually can coach at the NFL level and actually had done it before getting hired out of college. It's just sucks. It's like what could have been, kind of thing where it's like if you didn't bring in Cliffy Baby, and if you didn't, if you got the offensive-minded head coach idea right, it just wasn't the right time and the right person. Yeah, I mean, listen, the Cardinals can win this game. They could win. This team can win any game. They've got good enough players. They got to be healthy, and you got to protect Jacoby Brissett like they did last week.
That's key right there. Protecting Jacoby Brissett. I was reading a stat that the Jaguars have the third highest pressure rate in the league. Perfect. So, we talk about them starting fast. The offensive line has got to be on their P's and Q's in terms of, keeping Jacoby upright and protecting him. Like, you don't want him getting sawed in half every time he has to go for a deep ball. So that's going to be huge. Yeah.
I mean, and, for those that think Jonah Williams is a better option than Kelvin Beachum, politely, you can see your way out. And I know it's the 49ers, they have one of the worst pass rushes in the league. So the Cardinals were at least able to take advantage of that while they were getting bludgeoned to death and losing by almost 20. I just don't if they lose this one, I don't see a win the rest of the year.
The rest of the year?
I don't see a win. You get Atlanta.
You got Kirko Chains. Yeah, you got Kirko Chains coming in.
I don't
the future quarterback of the Cardinals.
Stop. Kirk Cousins. It's so crazy when quarterbacks
he goes to church out here.
They just download all of their talent and put it out their backside, and you just forget how to play football. Kirk Cousins doesn't know how to play football anymore. It's the wildest thing.
Towards Achilles.
No, I don't think I don't see a win. So this would be a good time to get a win with a Jacksonville team who's not only chasing Indy, they're in the playoff spot right now. They have a tiebreaker against Kansas City, I think. They're in the playoffs right now.
They do. If them in Kansas City tie with 10 wins, they're in over Kansas City. Yeah. They've been this weird team, but they've actually been pretty good this year with wins against teams like the Chargers and the Chiefs. You're right, coaching. Hey, let me ask you guys this before we dive deeper into it. Are you rooting for the Cardinals to win? And let me ask you why. If the Cardinals lose out, is that the worst thing in the world?
Why are you talking about the draft?
That's all I'm talking about. I got no interest.
No, I don't care. Yeah. Win games. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, this team wins 3 games this whole year. You should fire everyone. I'll just be real. I take everything I said back about Jonathan Gannon getting another shot. They win 3 games, clean house. Yeah. Because it doesn't get worse than that.
So why is it okay to have 3 straight losing seasons and still keep your job, but now you have 3 straight losing seasons?
Because he's a first-time head coach. Because he's a first-time head coach, and you want to give him the ability to establish himself and establish his culture within the building. And sometimes that takes time. And maybe we got to get his guys in here in order for this to be successful. And you want to obviously be in good standings around the league in terms of we don't want to just bring in guys and fire them the same year, because we see how sometimes that had worked out for, I know they gave Brian Daboll some time, but before that it was a revolving door. And so there's a piece of let's give him the opportunity to establish this thing. But I'll tell you right now, a 3-win season for the Cardinals with the guys that they have on this team, you got to fire. You have to fire the coach.
It doesn't matter unless Jacoby gets hurt or something, knock on wood, or Trey McBride gets hurt. The only person who gets reprieve from injuries will be Jonathan Gannon. You'll get a reprieve, you'll get a do-over. 2023 shouldn't count. It was a D2 Southeast Northern Dakota, state thing. They had almost 50% turnover. from the year before. Then Kyler Murray, so Kyler Murray missed half that year. And then last year, they were in games. That was bad coaching. Jonathan Gannon was in a bunch of spots he'd never been in before, and he failed miserably at most of them. But they were still knocking on the door, and they should have made the playoffs last year. And now everybody's hurt. So it's and they needed acts of aliens at State Farm Stadium to not be 4-1 to start the season. Quite literally, things needed to go absolutely perfectly wrong for that to happen. So listen, I don't think he should get a pass. If they fired him tomorrow, I'd be like, it makes sense. By sheer number standpoint, it makes sense. But he's right. Jamil's right. If they win 3 games this year, and I say I can't find a win, any given Sunday, some team's going to lose. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
If they win 3 games, everybody's getting fired.
Everyone has to go. I'm sorry.
Even Nick Rallis. Everybody's got to go.
GM, head coach.
I wouldn't fire Monty.
No, I think Monty will. Monty is not in all of this. All right, so Monty will be safe, and he will lead the hiring of the next head coach. Just given his track record and what he's done, but coaching staff wise, clean slate, wipe it all out.
Well, and listen, Monty, I think Jamil's scared of Monty Ossenfort.
Not.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I actually saw
you're obsessed with him because every single spot.
I actually ran into Monty a couple.
Did he take your lunch money? What did he do? Stuff in the locker?
Weekend. No. We just.
Did he tell you to save him?
We just gave each other a head nod. Hey, good to see you, and kept it pushing. That was it.
You didn't even say anything to him? Hey, I'm on this show, Cardinal Squad Show. Would you like to jump on?
You think Monty wants to get on a show at 3-7?
Yeah, no shot. Plus, they're muzzled. The Cardinals are muzzled, man.
You think Monty wants to talk about his team at 3-7?
Yeah. Anyways, Monty, here's the thing. Monty, okay, so are we under the guise that I feel like some people think that all GMs outside of the Cardinals organization hit on every pick? It's that's not what happens. What is it? 60% of picks are busts. You need to find. It's not just blue chippers. It's Michael Wilson's
doubles.
it's I don't know, Tip Ryman's. I still defend that Tip Ryman pick. They miss it.
It's depth.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to find key depth players because you're going to have injuries, and you don't want there to be too much of a drop off if your first string guys are out. That to me is the biggest thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So you say Malik Neighbors, all that stuff. The best ability is availability. Whatever smart person said that. Malik Neighbors has been out 80% of his NFL time.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Do you want Malik Neighbors for 30% of the season or Marv for 90%? Because outside of the concussion protocol last year, outside of the concussion protocol this year, and now the appendectomy, he's been around.
Mm-hmm.
They just haven't thrown on the ball. Him, Paris Johnson Jr., you got your left tackle for the future. Garrett Williams, he's taking a step back this year. Hopefully he plays this week. He's your CB1 for the future. They stole Will Johnson. They stole Walter Nolan. They brought over, I don't know what you want him to do. He has no control over anything except for signing the players and drafting the players.
Yeah, Walter Nolan and Will Johnson, great picks. You
just hope that they're not injured for the rest of their sleeping career. It's
100%.
It's crazy.
How about this? How big is the gap between Trevor Lawrence and Jacoby Brissett?
In terms of
talent, good quarterbacking.
I mean,
because when you're listing the two teams here, and you have one team that's 6-4, and you have one team that's 3-7. I don't right now. They're down Travis Hunter. They're down Brian Thomas Jr. They've got Travis Etienne, who I've loved ever since Clemson. And they've got, Parker Washington that he had just mentioned a second ago. But they're not loaded with talent. They let Evan Ingram walk in free agency. It feels like if you listed the top 10 players in this game, Cardinals might have 6 of them. And so it feels like the Cardinals are the more talented team, but they're not winning games. And does that all go back to coaching, or does it go back to the quarterback? It's got to be one of those two things that put you over the top, coaching or quarterback. And I think the Cardinals might have the better quarterback, and the Jags maybe just have the better coach. And if that's the case,
I would still take Trevor Lawrence over Jacoby Brissett. like in a vacuum. He's younger, he's got.
Do you like his traits more, or do you like what he's done in the NFL more?
Traits, it doesn't matter to me. We're talking about right now. I would take Trevor Lawrence over Jacoby Brissett. I just would. I mean, it's close-ish, but I would still take Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's much more mobile. Whatever. He makes some of the dumbest throws I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
funny.
I mean, like, the other thing is the Cardinals have, I know the division. I know the AFC South is on the rise, but they're not the division the NFC West is. The scheduling that they've got this year is much more favorable than what the Cardinals have. Like, it's more than just Jacoby Brissett or Trevor Lawrence. Like, if this is the third week in a row, ladies and gents, that I've said this. The Cardinals get blown out. Somebody should get fired, probably. But they won't.
Will they?
And
will they?
Just like the Jacoby and Kyler thing, it's like they should get fired, but it's the best idea for them not.
Wait a second. If the Cardinals get fired for a third straight week, the Cardinals get blown out for a third straight week. Does Jonathan Gannon have a job at the end of the year?
Yeah.
3 straight blowouts. And let's call a blowout so we can classify it. 20 plus points.
Non-contention for the entirety of it is a blowout. 13-0 could be a damn blowout if the Cardinals can't move anything. Like,
no, because your defense could keep you in it.
Man, honestly,
Jamil, what do you contend as a blowout? You've been a part of them. What would you say? Like, we got blown out in this game.
Anything over. Yeah, I mean, I guess 20 points is a blowout. Anything over like 15, like a 2-score game is what it is. Like,
let's call it 17. We'll split it in half.
Yeah, I mean,
if
it's 20-3, that looks terrible. Like if it's like 20-37, it looks different, but it's still a blowout. I think if they get dummied in this game by 20 points, I'm pissed.
Yeah,
guys, I will be pissed on this show, bro, because of last week, the amount of penalties and just the way that the game went. I will be pissed, and if I'm Monty, I'm pissed, and something has to change. I don't care who it is. I don't care. Something has to change, because you can't get up to the podium and say we're on the mat. When the alarm goes off, we have to get up. That ain't gonna work if you get blown out this week.
Yeah, they've been snoozing that alarm for the last 2 months.
Yeah, it ain't happening. Like, if they get blown out this week, I will keep it 100 with you guys.
I gotta bring a dump button
ready. Yeah,
we're gonna need a mute button on here for me. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
I can't lie to you. Kind of rooting for it. I want to see that train wreck. Let's get to some predictions. What it's going to look like.
Yuck.
And if we know, and if we got to bring a dump button for Jamil on Sunday, let's do it. Next. All right, closing out the show. Jamil, I'll let you give your prediction first. How badly do the Cardinals lose this weekend?
I don't want to.
You're not picking them. I know you're not picking them.
Let's just do this. Will it be close or not? Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Winning and losing doesn't really matter.
I think it'll be close.
It does.
I think it'll be close. I don't think, like I said, I don't think the Jags are a team that's just this juggernaut. That being said, they have played in some games where I thought they should lose, and they won. They just came off a really big win versus, the Chargers. I'm going to say 27-20. I think this is a game that the Cardinals will be in. But I think the Jags will make, a few more plays than the Cardinals, but 27-20, man.
Yeah. You
27-20.
You good?
I'm upset. I'm upset, man. I
welcome.
I want to pick the Cardinals, but know me, I'm a logical guy. Okay. So I go off of what I've been seeing the last couple of weeks, and I'm hopeful for a turnaround.
How's it look the last couple of weeks?
3-8, guys. 3-8.
Yeah, it's
5 games under 500. Somebody has to go.
Yeah.
And
The crazy
to
part is-
think you could have been recruited for any show, Jamil. Welcome here. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, look, you see the hairline? This I almost swore for the first
I
time
got,
ever on the show.
I got a bunch of grays. It's not from this show though. It's from my years in the league.
That's cool. It's probably from that state where you used to play with no state income tax. It's probably that.
This guy.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be close. They're making some switches on special teams. Special team, like of all the things that can happen, the thing that was perfect last year for the Cardinals that you did not have to worry about was special teams. Blake Gillikin was great. He's been on IR. Chad Ryland, he's almost pumpkinish. We don't know if he's turning into a pumpkin and they're going to get another kicker next year. But he was.
Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? Pumpkin.
What? Turning into a pumpkin?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Cinderella? What are we doing here? I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this.
I didn't know that was.
She got a thing, and then she got to go out to with the glass slipper, and then she turned into a damn pumpkin at midnight. What are we doing here?
She turns into a pumpkin.
Somebody turns into a pumpkin. So what it is my young associate is turning into a pumpkin means they're turning into what we thought they were going to be at one time. So or the run is over. So it's anyways. Chad Ryland hasn't been great either. He's been fine, but he hasn't been nails, 50-yarders, game winners like he had 4 last year. So if they can not give up a 98-yard kickoff return to start the game,
please
be a good start. If I'm the Cardinals and I win the toss, I'm taking the ball every single time for the rest of the year.
Please.
Deferring isn't fun when you're 3-7.
For what?
Take the damn ball, go down and score a touchdown. And play with the
you need every opportunity you can get.
Yeah. You feel bad for the defense at this point. Like the defense has not played up to par regardless of injuries. And the offense has given them negative help for a large chunk of this season. So take the ball, go put some points on the damn board, throw the ball 80 times. I don't care. Make Michael Wilson a Pro Bowler with Marv out. Just go.
Is he out again?
Do the same stuff
this week. He's out again.
I mean, I would assume so, dude. He had appendicitis.
Dude, yeah. I was on my
Did you have that, Clancy?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What's your score prediction? Don't jump over that now.
It's gonna be close.
27-21.
You can't give me a break.
I'll take the Jags 28-10. What do I have to do to believe in this team? Why?
Well, you believe in the offense putting up points. They've put up points even though it was in garbage time.
Well, they've put up points in garbage time. And that was been because that those teams have been up massively big. Not 21-3. It's been 30-0. So until the Cardinals can buck a trend, maybe that's unfair. 28-14, I guess. But they're really injured. The offensive line can't really stop anyone. I guess the Niners, who are out Michael Williams and Nick Bosa, that they had, less trouble dealing with them. But Trayvon Walker's a real deal pass rusher, and Josh Hines-Allen is a real deal pass rusher. That's not going to be easy. They've got the guy in the middle, Eric Armstead from the 49ers years ago. He's a big body in the middle that's going to make things a little bit difficult.
He's a real deal, guys.
Is he? Or are you?
No, I'm being dead serious. He is a player.
I'm just saying, they've got some dudes, and so I think that's going to cause enough of a ruckus. If Trey Benson plays on Sunday, which he posted on Instagram soon, a month ago, so soon is obviously relative to Trey Benson. Maybe he's back on Sunday. And if Bam Knight's running the ball again, maybe. But the Cardinals have been a heavily penalized team over the past couple of weeks, and I'm curious to know if that gets coached out of them finally, or if they're going to continue, having penalty after penalty. And if that continues early, referees are going to look to call it if you get penalized early and often in games. They're just going to assume that you're holding, and that's what happened on that long touchdown run for Bam Knight, a guy whose name I already forgot, held Didn't look like it was a hold on the instant
Harold
replay,
Brown.
but that's just what it is. I don't know the Cardinals
Harold Brown.
15th practice squad guy, but that's what happened as well. So like I'll take the Jags to win, and hopefully the Cardinals can buck a trend, because I agree with you guys that losing out isn't great, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not necessarily hoping this team wins 5 games, because I don't think that's necessarily great either if they're trying to find their quarterback.
Yeah, that's the part. And Jamil, like you got to expound upon this, but like when you're in the situation, the climate the Cardinals are in right now, you need any sort of positivity to lean on, like anything. And this is kind of participation trophy, but you want Budda Baker to finish the season strong. You want Will Johnson to continue to emerge. You want to see what you have with Denzel Burke and Max Melton as the backup dancers. You want Garrett Williams to play every game the rest of the year. You want Paris Johnson Jr. to be a pro bowler. You want all of these things to happen so you know what you've got moving forward. Everybody's earning a paycheck.
Yeah.
Every single person who says tank, you know what? You know whose jobs get lost with high draft picks? The players on the team right now. They don't want that. Like, it's the biggest fallacy in sports where it's like, oh, just tank. It's like, shut up. These guys are human beings. They're trying to keep their job.
I think I don't think the Cardinals are in a tank type of situation. I don't think Jonathan Gannon wants them to tank. Like, I don't think he has the leash to tank.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I think right now he's actually coaching for his job, essentially. I think that if they're 3-8 and this is a blowout to a Jaguars team who was couldn't find their way out of a paper bag last year, then I think that we're gonna be having a whole different conversation come Tuesday of next week. So tanking is out the window. You've got to go win a game. Got to go be competitive. Not no penalties, but you got to be, play penalty-free football. Like, they got to win a game. So if that's not the focal point, then you're cheating yourself at the end of the day.
But I mean, that's like the only thing that's been really weird of late is like they didn't look prepared really for the first time this past week. Like, and I always go back to it. Week 1 against Sam Howell and Josh Dobbs in, DC against Washington, where they lost like 19-13 or something, 17-13, something like that. They showed up like you would never seen with Cliff, ever. I'm like, oh my God, this is like it viscerally and visually look completely different. And that hasn't wavered over the last 2.5 years. But on Sunday, it did. So if that continues, JG's going to be gone. Like, if that's how you lose the locker room, quote unquote, if you don't show up to play, they didn't show up to play. Jamil, I mean, did they?
Yeah, no, they didn't. And what's interesting is it was a division game. So it's not like you never play these guys. Like, you played them earlier in the year, third game of the season, 15-16, I think was the final score. And so this was a division game. These are guys that the scheme, the players. And so it didn't make sense as to why you get blown out like that, versus a team that so well.
That's right.
With that being said, we will be here post-game after the Arizona Cardinals beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to speak it into existence.
You say Jaguars weird. I got to say it.
How did I say it?
You say Jaguars weird.
Jaguars.
No.
Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
No.
Jaguars.
The Jagwires? No. Jaguars.
Yeah, Jaguars.
How do you say the Bengals? How do you say the Cincinnati football team?
Bengals, probably.
You say Bengals? What do you say?
Bengals.
Stop it. The Cincinnati Bengals.
That's
is
close.
that okay?
Again?
I'm scared now. Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals.
Okay, you're at that line. Say Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
No.
Wires.
I'm going to ask my wife here as soon as we're done if I say Jaguars weird.
You spell it Jagwires.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, you're saying the same thing.
Did I say it right?
No.
Okay.
It's almost worse that time.
Goodness.
Drop a 1 in the chat if he says it wrong.
Arizona plays Jacksonville on Sunday. We'll be here to break it down for you guys. Hopefully I'm saying things correctly. Hopefully Jamil isn't losing his you know what. And
oh God.
hopefully Clancy's on time after. We'll just
and I will be doing my show immediately following.
Yes.
I took the last 2 weeks off. That's on me. It'll be me moving forward.
Clancy was sick, wasn't into playing hurt. I get it, Clancy.
Listen, I got sensitive skin. I just watch Entourage. It's one of my favorite lines.
We'll see you guys on Sunday. For everyone in the chat, Sean, Feast Mode, Keith Davis. I just assume Feast Mode is Eddie Lacy. Mike Evans, for everyone in the chat, thank you so much for being here. We will talk to you guys on Sunday.